guys, and welcome to this video. Now I'm so embarrassed to be doing this video now because the thing I'm gonna be unboxing and trying on and showing in front of you guys has been sitting on my desk for almost about a month now. But with work and home, I think I've been pretty occupied, but that's no reason for not trying it on. Also, I wanted to try it on camera, so I guess this is one of the best ways for you and me to together find out how great or how bad these really are. So let's get started because it's better late than never. If you have seen all of my videos or any of my videos, you would know for a fact that I love Colourpop cosmetics, and even the fact that it was sitting on my desk and I did not dip into it requires a standing ovation. But I'm not asking you to do that, so let's just jump into the video because I cannot hold it any longer. So here I have the Sol Face and Body Bronzing Balms. I got them in two different shades because you would know that I cannot decide. Also, the shades are so similar in terms of bronzers and one can never really have enough bronzers, so I guess it makes more sense. Now the two shades that I have with me here, one is medium and the other is medium dark. I think both of these shades would suit Indian skin tone. If you want the number of the shade, then medium would be 20K1 and medium dark would be 20L3. I will be showing you swatches and trying it on my face, but before that, let's just look into the specs so that we know what the company is really claiming. Now, what I see from the company website, like all other Colourpop products or Sol products to be specific, it is vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, mineral oil-free, etc. It's also called a cream-based bronzer, which I'm not very sure of, so we'll see when we actually open the pack. And it's supposed to enhance your natural skin tone with a radiant touch of color. That sounds interesting. Now, I don't want to look into the details as much, but actually dip into the product and see the product in action. So let's open these babies up. How difficult can it really be opening it with nails, right? And maybe just gotten them done. You know, you don't want to spoil it off, but you also want to open the packaging. I'm not sure whether I'm even opening it up. God. Wow. Sometimes all you need is a makeup brush. Wow! Now that we have the bronzing balm out of the cover, the packaging is pretty basic. If you see, it's a plastic brown cover with almost a translucent tube. The quantity of this is pretty good, which is 31 grams. It's almost a gram more than Chanel's Soleil de Tan bronzing balm, and even that one is pretty costly, so this one for just about 15 bucks is a pretty good deal if it really works, and we'll have to see about that too. Now, as you open this up, it does have a protective cover, which I love, and I think I'm gonna keep this even after I start using it. It just helps to keep the product clean, and if you know me, you know how much I like it to be clean. But the balm really looks beautiful. I don't know if you can really see, but it's a beautiful texture, almost like a lip balm texture, and it does look pretty. It's very creamy in the tub, so we'll have to see how it really fares on the skin, maybe even after a powder, because that's something that I would be interested in. So now that we're already dipping into it, why not just try it out, because I already have my beauty blender as well as my brush ready to get my fingers dipped in. Okay, let's just swatch the shade, and I'm going to swatch it here on my skin so we can compare the two shades. This one is the medium, and it's a nice light medium. You could move it around. It's pretty easy to move around. Actually, not bad at all. Now, I wasn't very sure about using a brush with the balm because it does have that creamy texture, and in that case, I normally prefer a beauty blender to a brush. But now that I've seen how the brush is looking, I'm very excited to use it with the beauty blender too. But before that, I actually want to try the other shade as well, right next to this one, because we've used it with the brush and I really want to see the application and the shade color. So let's get into that once I actually am able to open the box. Okay, so here it is. Now this is medium dark. Again, the protective cover that I was talking about, which is very good also to push the product back if you have started to almost reach the mid of the tub. It's again very balmy. If you look at this texture, it's almost like a cream, very thick cream, but I'm not really sure how it's gonna fare on the skin, but we'll try that. Now, since this was the medium, here is the medium dark, and I'm gonna move that around a bit so we actually know the shade of it. Now, it's not very different if you can see, but medium dark is definitely a more cooler shade, while medium is more warm, and it's probably for an olive or a very golden skin tone. I think that would look perfect with a medium. But if you want to do that contour, or if you just want to get a little bit of a color, you can go with a cooler shade, which is the medium dark. The color shade is not very different.
No.
It's not really a medium and a medium dark, but it's basically a medium in two different tones, if you know what I mean. Now, I'll also be trying it on my face, but what I'm thinking is I want to try both shades because they're almost so similar. I really want to know how different they can be on the face. And since I'm not worried about looking like a fool in front of you guys, because you're family, right? So I'm gonna do a half and half of one side with medium and the other side with medium dark. So I'm just dipping into the product with my beauty blender very lightly in the beginning because I don't want to get too much of the product on, but we'll see how that goes once we start to put it on. Can you believe it? I was extremely wrong. I think working with a brush is going to be way more easier than working with a blender, because all that I've been getting on my wet beauty blender is almost nothing from this bronzing balm. So let's try it with the brush and we'll see how that goes. Now, you may think this is not really a bronzing or a contouring brush, but what I like to do is go very precise on my application, so I know exactly where I'm applying it and I don't go overboard. So that really helps me with this concealer brush actually. Now that I have enough product on my brush, I'm going to start to swipe that on. Now, I'm not sure whether you can really see, but I'm starting to see this really nice warm shade on my skin here, and it's starting to look very pretty. So let's just keep going and we'll see where we reach. So I'm back. Now, if you notice, I may have bronzed a little bit too much. Forgive me, because I started to play around with it and I think I went a little overboard, especially around my temple. But what I loved about this product is how creamy it is. That does not mean it lays on thick. No, it is the most lightweight bronzing balm that I may have tried on. So when I first saw it in the tub, I realized it may lay on thick and it may be difficult to work with, but it is actually very easy to. And unfortunately, even though I mentioned previously that working with a brush was much easier, I think I ended up using my beauty blender. In that case, I actually want to tell you guys, learning to work with your makeup is actually an art, but also very importantly, it's a learning curve out there. So if you like something today, you may not like that feature or that way of applying your makeup the very next day. So in my learning curve, I'm learning to understand that the bronzing balm would do better with the blender. Now, that being said, the texture is not the easiest to work with. So it may not be giving you that sculpting look or just get that snatched nose, no, or the high cheekbones, not at all. You'll probably have to work with this with a beauty blender and just to get that all-round glow or that all-round warmth on the face. Now, if you're wondering which side is which, I know they both look so similar. So this side is the medium dark, which is on your right, and this side is the medium. They're very similar. They're very similar toned, even though in the tub and in my swatches it looked like one was a cooler shade. It's not as cool, but more a neutral tone. The good thing about that is that it will work well with golden, yellow or pink undertones as well. Another interesting thing that I learned about this is that it starts to dry out. So don't take me wrong, it does not dry out in a bad way, but more so like a textured powdered finish. That's what I also realized when I was reading about this product on the internet, and Colourpop had mentioned that it does settle down as a powdery finish, which is very interesting coming from a balmy texture. But I also feel that it does not break up on your skin or start cracking out is because it is a balmy texture, so it probably wouldn't. I wouldn't suggest layering it on powder, but go cream to cream, and in the end you can just powder your face if you want a little bit more matte look. But I think it does have a little bit of a shine or those beautiful glow feel, which looks beautiful, and it almost reminds you of summer. The product, like all of the Soul Body products, smells of coconut, so if you have a problem with that, maybe give this a miss. Also, it seems it's transfer proof because I tried to touch it with my handkerchief and it does not come off on the cloth, which is great, especially for the summers because you're sweating all the day. I guess Colourpop and Soul Body holds up to its claim again for this product and does not really disappoint. If you are interested in watching any other Colourpop or Soul Body products, do check out my video clip right here. I do have a couple of them there, and you'll start to see my journey with this brand. Now, if you like this video or my review of the Soul Body Colourpop product, don't forget to hit that big like button down there, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to be a part of the Arshiyan family, don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. Now, this was all for this video, but I will see you in my next one. Until then, you take care, love yourself, and stay radiant. Bye.